dealers in the country because we were able to sell online, and it was wonderful. And then it happened.
What we know now is Wall Street can bring down Main Street. And frankly, I'm going to tell you,
and I found myself at a food bank, standing in line, and I had people coming up to me going, "Hey, are you here to help people today, to minister to people?" Because I was known as a teacher and minister in the area. I was like, "No, I'm here to be ministered to myself." What they didn't know is I had $4.83 in my account, and a wife and 4 kids and one on the way that needed to eat. I literally felt like the world had taken off and left me behind, and I was just standing there watching. I did not know what I was going to do or how I was going to rebuild my life. And then a friend of mine recruited me into the insurance business, and I learned a whole new industry that I didn't even know existed. And I started marketing the insurance the same way I marketed, my music, because I knew online marketing. I knew how to use various tools to get in front of people. And business took off. Went all around the world, went to Fiji, got to go to the Tony Robbins place and speak to other insurance agents. And I got to teach people on how they can grow their business with various tools, and I showed them how I was doing it. And it was wonderful. And then something happened in the economy and in that specific industry again, Obamacare. And I said, I'm not doing this again. I am not going back to just scrounging, looking for a ways to earn a living. I'm going to make this work. I stayed up for 48 hours on my laptop, just staring at a computer screen, trying to figure out, how can I pivot from this new change, this new big macro change, really? And something weird happened. It came across the screen. It says, "Terry, will you teach me and train me how to use these various online tools and marketing tools for insurance?" And I thought, would people really want to buy a platform, a system, to be able to market their own insurance and other products? So in this book, I share the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, and the lessons I've learned along the ways. And now, after 11 years, how anybody, if they're just willing to defeat discouragement, can take their money, business, and life to all new levels. Because as Zig said, you are not a wandering generality, but you are a meaningful specific. And I like to say it this way. You're not some sort of cosmic accident because lightning struck a mud puddle and you crawled out billions of years later. You are made by, from, and for the purposes of greatness. And there's greatness on the inside of you, because as Larry told me that day, I tell you the same. You are worth more.
Hey Terry, this is Chris. Just wanted to congratulate you on 12 years of crushing it online, my friend. I have the courage to ask and earn what I am worth because I believed it when I heard you say, you are worth more. Felicitaciones por 12 años de hacer negocios a la manera honesta y ayudando a tantas personas. Brindo por muchos más años de éxito y prosperidad. Keep up the good work.
Terry Wilson, Cliff Ravenscraft here from MindsetAnswerMan.com, and I just want to congratulate you on 12 years of crushing it with your passion of serving the world at the highest level, using the gifts that God has uniquely given you, brother. Congratulations. I know it's just the scratching the surface of all that God's going to continue to do through you as you powerfully serve the world at the highest level. Congratulations. 12 years. Freaking phenomenal, brother. Have a blessed, wonderful day.
How in the world, Terry, did you make this wonderful, and I know it's going to be long, drawn out, but you were in the music business, and then obviously you shifted to the insurance. But how in the world, dude, did you make this shift? I envy you. I compliment you for what you've done. My God, different products and tools. And I just want to say I've been following you for a number of years, and I'm not the type of guy that follows somebody, quite frankly. I think the world of you, and for whatever it's worth, I really envy what you've built.
Thank you. The opportunity, this is the opportunity I was looking for. An honest person coming out there and helping a bunch of folk and putting everything in perspective and having the better business rating. Some of the stuff I did know, but I didn't know what's the regular way to go about. You have done a great job laying things out for an average person to come out there, take and make his life much better. Thanks for doing all this stuff, man. The moment I saw your video and went through a couple of them, I said, I'm signing up with this person. There's somebody like you coming down to the ground and explaining things. The back office that you have done, man, that's great. One should have a patience to develop that kind of a system and a real courage to make that available to the public. So really hats off to you on that. You've done some very great things, Terry.
Well, hello there. This is Laurie Brown, a.k.a. Misspelling Bee. And I just want to wish TW3 a happy 12th birthday. What an amazing group. What an amazing legacy. And I'm so thankful and proud to be part of it. Thanks, Terry.
So you have to look at TW3 from your own perspective, right? Mm-hmm. To get what you need out of it. But the thing I like about the way Terry designed it, and Terry will tell you that he's just a good old boy, not too bright, blah, blah, blah. Don't let that shit fool you.
Don't buy that.
He's a genius, okay?
Yeah, don't buy that story.
and when you find a genius, you want to stay close to a genius and learn from that guy. Okay.
Hope some of that rubs off.
That's why I befriended Terry. That's why I came a TW3 member. But, the thing that I have always struggled with, I'm a great salesperson. I can sell you ketchup popsicle if you're wearing white gloves. I can do that. That's who I am. But what I can't do is find you to begin with, right? So that's what I needed TW3 to teach me. I needed to know, how do I find the person so that I could sell them that ketchup popsicle, right?
Yep.
TW3, the training taught me how to do that. All of the different things, they teach you step by step through it in order to teach you how to do those kind of things.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Miller for the $1 Million Broker Training Program here at FactorCareers.com. I'm sitting in the FactorCareers.com studio right now, and I want to give a shout out to my good friend Terry Wilson and say happy birthday to your company. 12 amazing years you've been in business, and that is such an honor to be part of. I can't even begin to tell you. You got me started in the business, and I am so glad to be here and be part of it. I look forward to many more years to come. If you guys want to learn more about what I do, feel free to drop me a line or just visit $1,000,000broker1.com. That's $1 Million Broker, the number 1.com. And you can even register for a free class to find out what I do and how you might want to get involved one day. But happy birthday, TW3. I'm wearing my tux in your honor. Happy birthday.
I want to take a second and say happy birthday, America, and happy birthday, TW3. 12 years. Are you kidding me? The government tells us most small businesses are here and gone within 5 years, and here's TW3 more than doubling that. I want to take a second and thank TW3 for what TW3 has done for me. Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And how I equate that to TW3 is I have now acquired over the last couple of years an arsenal of tools to promote and improve my business. In fact, I've started a second business based on these tools. I have an inventory of training that is unbelievable and second to none. And bigger than all of that, I have an army of people within the TW3 family. They help and they applaud not only my progress, but everybody's. And, if you put those two things together, you can't help but get better. And getting better means learning from those tools, taking the education, asking the people who have been there before, and then implementing. So for that, I can say nothing more than thank you, TW3. Thank you, Terry Wilson, for what you've done for me and for what you've done for thousands across this country. Happy birthday.
Hi, this is Marsha Redmon with RedmonConsultingHL.com, and I want to wish TW3 a happy 12th birthday and invite anyone who wants to see how to repair their credit. Be offered to feel free to contact me today.
Hey TW3, happy birthday Terry, happy birthday TW3 12th year. This is Mark Ian Griffin, aka Captain Quackenbush. We're actually out here shopping for RVs thanks to TW3 and opening us up to this world of online marketing. If you need help, if there's anything I can do to help you, train you, answer questions, feel free to go to my website at tw3coaching.com, or you can call me personally at 252-327-4217. Again, 252-327-4217. Have a great day. God bless. Be safe.
Hi, this is Linda Wilson Gordon, a.k.a. Legendary Linda, out here on the far left coast in beautiful Seattle. I want to congratulate Terry Wilson and TW3 for their 12th anniversary. Happy birthday. I am so happy to be a part of this family. You know, I was really cautious at first. I started TW3 while I was still working my day job, but after 6 weeks, I resigned and never looked back. Want to talk? Give me a call, 206-569-8188, or go to my site at lindawilson3.com. Cheers to Terry and his entire crew. Well done. Again, happy 12th birthday.
Hi, this is Valerie Gibson with ValerieG.TerryWilson3.net, and I want to wish TW3 a happy 12th birthday, and I invite anyone who wants to see what I offer, so feel free to contact me today.
Hey, Terry, it's Gary Green, a.k.a. Greenbacks here in the house. Just wanted to make this quick message for you. You know, wishing you and everybody at Terry Wilson 3 a very, very happy 12-year anniversary. It's hard to believe it's been that long. You know, I've been with you over the last 6 years, going on 7 years now. So it's just been a lot of fun. You know, thanks for the opportunity, you know, over the years, you know, to take my life and my income, you know, to new levels. So I've learned a lot along the way, and it's been a lot of fun, you know, too, at the same time. Also, to anybody that's interested, I also have a fast-track 2-day training class, you know, where somebody's looking to get started into the business quickly and make money quickly. I have a fast-track 2-day training class that will do that. If you're interested, you can contact me at, you know, directly 281-870-2644, or via my website, GaryGreen1.com, and that's with the E on the end of green. Okay? Anyway, much love, Gary Green.
Happy birthday, TW3, and congratulations on 12 years of business. You doing business of any kind is not easy, but doing online and doing it right for so long is amazing. You guys keep up the good work, and congratulations, Terry. I know you're proud.
Terry Wilson, Cliff Ravenscraft here from MindsetAnswerMan.com, and I just want to congratulate you on 12 years of crushing it with your passion of serving the world at the highest level, using the gifts that God has uniquely given you, brother. Congratulations. I know it's just the scratching the surface of all that God's going to continue to do through you as you powerfully serve the world.
What you did there, and look what you did there, and you can't do that. And who are you, Terry? Who are you to go and talk to hundreds of people about business? You're a failure. You went bankrupt. Well, let me tell you something. I figured out a way not to do business. And you need to know this. And Les tells a story about where he was playing Connect 4. I don't know if y'all know Connect 4, but it's this little, checkers game that you play, and he's playing with his son, and he's playing. He played for hours with his son, and he says, "Son, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired." He says, "Dad, one more game. And he said, "Son, I'm bored. I'm tired." He goes, "Listen, it's not over until I win." And finally his son won, and they could quit playing. And he says, Les says, how many of us would find so much more success if we'd have the attitude of that little child? It ain't over until I win. This ain't over until I win. I'm still going to play this game. I'm still going to be involved. I'm still going to be engaged so I get my breakthrough.
TerryWilson3.com. Home of TW3, the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth.
Planet Earth.
Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Terry Wilson.
So you like that, huh? So, guys, we started a little bit later because we had so many birthday wishes that came in, and I just want to say thank you to every single person that took the time to do that. Very kind. I'm very fortunate that you guys and humbled that we had that many people that wanted to share. So thank you guys so much for that, and welcome to TW3. And thank you guys for being here. This is someone was asking, what is this? This is a business show that helps entrepreneurs either start their entrepreneurial journey or improve the one that they're on, or find ways to improve their lives. That's what we're all about. We've been doing this now for 12 years, and it's a very cool business that the Lord has blessed us with, and we're excited about it. We did have a little bit of audio problems at the beginning, so can you guys hear? And
I can hear you great, but I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Well, I
can hear you, but I think I'm muted.
Are you muted,
No,
Bill?
you're not muted, Bill. I can.
Am I muted?
No, we can hear. That was, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the heavenly side of North Carolina. That's Bill Perry. How you doing, Bill?
I'm good. I'm sitting on the front porch overlooking this brilliant valley in front of me. It's a piece of God's country up here, and I feel privileged to both be here and be on this show. Happy birthday, Terry. What an astounding testimony. 12 years. Man, I'm excited to just have an opportunity to be a part of this.
Can you believe 12 years that I can do anything for 12 years? You've known me for a long time. Can you believe I could do anything for 12 years?
I've known you for a very long time. Sometimes it takes the right thing a while to find us. That's
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I'm humbled, and I just want to take the time to thank everyone, all of our members. We wouldn't be here. This wouldn't be a business if it wasn't for our members. So welcome to tonight's show, everyone. We have a power-packed hour with an all-star panel, as you can already see. And I want to say thank you again to all the members here at TW3 and helping us, and it sounds like other people have been helped by TW3 as well. So it's great. I can't believe Joyce Wilson's son from Ruth has been able to help people in any way, and especially in the ways that we're seeing results from people. So it's very humbling. I get a bit emotional to this day every time I think back at the times where I thought my personal dreams and goals and ambitions were all dead, to only wake up today in some condo, beach home, or resort enjoying my life, doing what I was created for, and being so richly rewarded for it. So my story is this: if I can do it, then anyone can, because I don't see myself as anything special other than someone that's just too stupid to quit. If I had to say one thing, that would probably be...
That's true, by the way. Everything he just said. It's a miracle. I don't mean that in an offensive way, but...
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, I get it.
It's pretty amazing. It is a great thing.
So in the chat real quick before we get going, because like I said, we're having some weird audio. Can everyone hear Chris when he talks? Bill, can you hear him?
Yeah, I could hear just fine.
I honestly think what we're hearing is that it's a headset issue. It's not actually what we're passing for audio, because when you talk, I see the meter still bump.
That's good.
So I think we're good.
River's saying he's not picking up on them.
He's not picking up on them? Okay. All right.
He's not picking up what you're saying. Is he doing it just through the phone, or is he doing it via
he's
the
checking
computer?
our thing. He's saying he's picking up what people are saying through your microphone. It's not.
Well.
I see the meter still bump. That's good. So I think we're good. River's saying it's not
Just heard Chris here.
You guys got it?
Yeah, we got it. Okay. So, sorry for all the confusion, guys. Like I said, I used the Roadcaster for those who are keeping score at home to do all my podcasting, and they just released a new firmware update, and that firmware update has changed everything, and in doing so, it's made some of our audio, what we hear, a little strange.
It was just a present to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. Personal.
Yeah. So it's a little weird.
It is.
But so we got Bill on the phone tonight. We got Michael in here. We got Chris. We got Reagan. We got River as well. And we've got a ton of giveaways. Go ahead and tell the people in the chat room before we open the podcast up how we can give them their giveaways, and we'll announce the winners in segment 2. But if you'll go ahead and tell them what they need to do.
I gotcha. Yeah, so we've got some winners that we've already selected. Those are our first 10 comments that we had today. We went ahead and selected our winners for those, and I'll be announcing those in a bit. And then for everybody else who wants to enter to win, you can go to share the podcast, hashtag TW3 Podcast 423. If you'll share that on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, we typically check those the most. We'll be picking some winners out of there as well. So those are some places you can go to and share that. And if you've got any questions for later in the podcast, we can also take those as well. If you'll just leave your comments now, I'm actually compiling some of them. My first question was, what is this? But I feel like you'll kind of get into that as we keep going. So if you guys want to go ahead and send in your questions, I'll go ahead and start compiling those, and we'll get to those in about segment 3 or 4.
That sounds great. And we are going to be talking about one thing specific in segment 2 tonight. I made an announcement. I don't know if everyone got the announcement. I know some did, some didn't. So I just want to announce it again. Because of COVID-19, we've had to make some drastic changes to our conference that was scheduled in the next 2 weeks. We were supposed to have a live conference, and we had the green light from everyone. Everything was fine. Last Monday, Chris called.
Yeah, while you're on vacation, on your little trip, I think you were enjoying a nice drink by the ocean water in the Keys, and I wasn't. I was in my office looking at a wall. And I looked down at my monitor, and there was an email. So apparently with this uptick, the city of Greenville has tightened their restrictions. And so there were 2 hurdles we couldn't overcome. Really, one is all that mattered because the one was we could only have 28 people there. And we have way more than that registered. So, yeah, it just kind of was, and there was no options, and the entire city's that way. It's so tight. We'd have to get a pretty big place that's just not reasonable.
And for those who don't know about the conference, because I know we got a ton of new people. I'm seeing the chat on here, so sometimes I've got to remember we've got to speak as if people are hearing us for the first time, and that's sometimes something I forget to do. The conference is basically where entrepreneurs from all over the world come together, and we learn about these tools that we have here at TW3 for the purposes of marketing your business, growing your business, scaling your business, automating your business. And TW3 is basically 2 things if you had to quantify it down. It's a suite of marketing tools, and it's a suite of training to how to use those marketing tools and how to do better business. And that could get into mindset. It could get into sales training. It could get into all kinds of things. But the genesis of this business was 12 years ago. I was in the music business a little over 12 years ago, from 1996 until 2008. I was a musician. Well, I still am a musician, but I was professionally in the music business as a person who sold instruments, sold pianos, specifically to new homes around the country. And when the housing market crashed in the second quarter of 2007, that big macro shift in the economy, well, it sucked me under as well. And so I found myself in 2008 in a new business, which was insurance. And I wasn't used to cold calling. I didn't want to get into calling my friends, family, and foes, as they say. I hated that MLM type of, and I'm not knocking any, by the way, if you're in anything. It's just, I'm not into that. And so I was like, I have got to figure out a way to get in front of people. And so I started using these marketing tools, dialers, bulk texters, bulk emailers, landing page software, all of these different things, blogs, podcast, all of this stuff. And it grew my insurance business. And through growing that business, what happened was I had insurance agents come out of the woodwork saying, hey, how's one person producing this kind of business? Can we get your training, show us how to do that? And so I had people offering me money. I didn't even think about
how to monetize it, or even to monetize it.
Exactly. So that just wasn't even in my way of thinking. And so when I did that, I had some more people come back and say, hey, Terry, we've got sub agents here. We've got these people here. We've got these people here. Is there a way we could resell your platform to our agents that are in our agency? Well, as soon as I turned it into a product to resell, the business just exploded. And so,
well, and the beauty of this is that insurance is not the only group of people who need leads.
Right.
It's a one of the most important pieces of the puzzle when you're trying to do business is how are you going to find people to purchase your product?
Yeah, it turns out pastors need people in their pews. Otherwise, it's not a church. It's just it's a hobby. It turns out realtors need people. Turns out retail, restaurants, everybody needs people.
If you got a book.
If you've got a book to sell.
Or what about a podcast?
Or a podcast. What we've stumbled into, I wished I could say I was just this, Chris Miller, by the way, you were so kind to call me anything other than Terry, but I don't know if you guys heard it in the pre-roll. He goes, Terry just wants to say he's a good old boy and he's not that bright and blind. He said, don't believe it.
Yeah.
Bill, did you hear that?
Well, and that's true. And
I heard that. It reminds me of us.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing about it is, as much as you like to put yourself down, and I love to pick on you and put you down as well, the reality of it is, it really, not just anybody could do it. You play the humble card well.
I hide brilliance very, very well.
That's a good way to say it. No, it is well, first of all, I've been a part of this for a long time, and it is some, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen accidentally or coincidentally.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, there's a method to your madness.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Or a method to your humbleness.
It reminds me of, there's an old Jeff Foxworthy joke that says he's talking about Southerners and rednecks and stuff. And he goes, the thing about the Southern dialect is you could be the smartest person in the room, but if you have a Southern accent, you're just not going to come across as the smartest guy. And he goes, for instance, you're up on an operating table and you hear your surgeon say, now what we're going to do is we're just going to root around in there and see what we can find.
Yeah, changes the whole thing. Now you can root nothing. That's true.
So
it's true.
I have weaponized my dialect maybe a bit.
Yeah. Yes. You don't help yourself.
No, I don't help myself. You really have to get to know me to appreciate anything.
Yeah. You didn't master the English language and all this business stuff.
No, English and speaking, ironically, is not my strong suit, even though I'm a podcaster.
Speaking, you do fine.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But anyway, guys, when we get back, we are going to open this up. Bill's going to be talking about some things that he's going to be doing in a surprise we have for you guys. So if you are a ticket holder to the conference and you heard that we're going to have to push it back till next, we got something that's might going to help you and give you even more value.
And maybe even if you're not a ticket holder.
Maybe even if you're not a ticket holder. That's right, Chris. We're going to give you an opportunity, even if you're not a ticket holder, to get in on what we're talking about right after this.
Don't laugh. It just encourages them.
Hey guys, if you've watched my podcast any, you know that I love hats. Matter of fact, if you see any of my blogs or written content, half the time I'm in a hat. And there's a reason for that. The older I've gotten, I've lost hair, and it keeps the sun off my head, or it keeps me warm. But nevertheless, the quality hat's harder and harder to find. Michael and I were down in Charleston the other week and ran across a hat company called Gorin Brothers. Been in business forever, and they make nothing but quality hats. You can get a fedora, flat cap straws, packables, knit, troopers, baseball caps, you name it, they've got it. And you're not going to beat the quality, the craftsmanship, and the material they use. You're just not. And I thought all hats were created equal until I put one on my head. And I was like, good Lord, this feels so good. It breathes. It keeps the sun off my head so I don't get burnt. And I just love it. And so if you want a quality hat, go to Gorin.com or go to TerryWilson3.com/hats. It takes you to the same place. They're not an affiliate of ours. This is not a paid advertisement. I just love their hats, and I think you will too. If you mention this podcast, because I asked them, hey, can I advertise for you and give a little back? Because the real reason I'm doing this is to give value to you, to give you a discount on something if you like it. And they said they would. So they're going to offer our listeners a 15% discount if you just mention the podcast and say, hey, Terry said, I got a 15% discount at TerryWilson3.com just by calling you. And you can also call them if you don't want to go to the website, 843-518-4287. That's 843-518-4287. It's the Gorin Brothers hat company. Don't be boring. Go get you a Gorin hat.
You know, if you've ever listened to my podcast, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Earners are learners and leaders are readers. If you want to go to the next level, you do have to grow to the next level. And growth happens by the people you hang around and listen to the most. Seth Godin says you're the sum total of 5 people you hang around the most. And that is why you need to go to TerryWilson3.com/free book and get a free audiobook just to try out the services. Here's the deal. Over 70,000 different authors from every type of genre that you could think of. Go over there, pick one that you like, something that's going to inform you, something that's going to inspire you, something that's going to illustrate what you need to do next. Try out the service. If you don't like the service, cancel it, and you get to keep that free audiobook. But you're going to love the service, and I promise you, if you will commit yourself to listening and learning from those who have gone where you want to go, you can go there also. So go to TerryWilson3.com/free book today. Try out the service and get a free audiobook just for trying it out. TerryWilson3.com/free book.
He can't guarantee you success, but he sure can help you eliminate the excuses made so far for not achieving them. Now back to the TW3 Studio with Terry Wilson.
Yes. We're going to get into the training tonight, absolutely. But Reagan's got some announcements as far as what he's going to do with winners, and then we will get right into it, guys.
Yeah, so we're going to go over it. I'm just going to announce our first 10 comments that we had, and then you guys, I can tell you where to go to redeem those prizes. So here's our first 10 winners. These are based on our comments that we had. We have a Laurie Brown, a Thomas Bell, Linda Wilson Gordon, Mary Pretorius, Daniel Osterman, Hallie Adams, Richard Melton, Joel Radwinski, Tom Sellers, and Ron Haslam. So you guys were our first 10 comments. If you go to TerryWilson3.com/contact and just give us your information, best way to reach you and stuff, which most of that stuff we'll have, but we'll go ahead and get those prizes out to you guys. And then for everyone else, we're going to be announcing some book winners and some other prizes. If you guys can share that podcast, hashtag TW3 podcast. Let's see, 423, hashtag TW3 podcast 423. If you'll share that on social media, we'll be looking at that and we'll announce the winners for that in a bit.
All right. So here's the deal, guys. Like we alluded to up front, we did have a business a conference. We call it our Worth More conference. That was scheduled in the coming weeks. And we've had to forego that because of all this COVID stuff. So what we're doing in lieu of that is we're going to, for all the ticket holders, we're doing a virtual conference, just an abbreviated virtual conference with yours truly and Wild Bill that's on tonight. I won't say from Green Hill, Bill, because I know you don't like that, but I normally call him Wild Bill from Green Hill. And he said, I'm not from Green Hill. And I keep assuring him nobody knows about the region of Rutherford County, so it's not that insulting.
Yeah. Well,
now I'm thinking Green Hill's a step up.
Yeah.
Ask Chris Root. He knows.
I did. I tried to move out there and they wouldn't let me in.
So Bill's got a session that he's going to be talking about here in a minute. Chris is going to be talking about some things. I'm going to be talking about some things because, the world has changed on us. Nobody's denying that. But let's keep everything in context. This year, we're on a 28% growth pattern, okay? And COVID-19 has now been here for a solid quarter and a half, hasn't it? Didn't it start in March? And we're already in July. Yep. And so don't tell me you can't prosper during this situation. It's not easy, but you can definitely do it. And we've got a lot of people that are. But there's some things that we got to be smart about and all of that. And mindset plays a lot into it. So we'll open it up with Bill first. Bill, we've got you down for, a mindset during Mayhem. Share with the people what you're seeing out there as to what's important right now to keep a level head and do good business.
Sure. One of the things, Terry, that's been very interesting to me, a number of the entrepreneurs that I coach, when this thing first set in, of course, everybody's scrambling a bit to figure out how they're going to maintain their business, how they're going to do their business. And I saw a lot of pressure set in. And what I'm about to say is going to seem probably counterintuitive, but I'll say it anyhow. I think one of the things that's critical for success and for mindset in a season like this is you have to give yourself permission to lower your expectations. We're not playing on the same playing field that we were on in February.
That's right.
We're on a very different playing field. Everybody is nervous. Everybody feels, of course, the uncertainty of where we are, and that's showing no real end in sight, as most of you are clearly aware of. But I think one of the things that we've got to be careful to do is not to put so much pressure on ourselves to crush it. We use that term.
Sure.
I even heard it in the pre-roll,
Yeah.
Terry, you're crushing it. And I think, particularly in a season like this, what I found myself doing very early in the process was pressurizing my process.
Yeah.
To maintain my perception of my place. And I think we have to be very careful that we're not succumbing to that pressure, because pressure never produces a good result.
Right.
If we can't do what we're doing with an ease, then we've probably already missed the bus on some level. And so one of the things that I'm saying, again, counterintuitive, don't live under the expectation that in this season, you need to be crushing it. In this season, we have to do the things that work for us to survive. And sometimes that sounds almost defeatist. It's really not.
No.
Again, I'm working with so many people under so much pressure. And when I begin to talk to them about, hey, it's okay to give yourself permission to simply survive July. Now, that may not be everybody that's listening to us tonight.
Sure.
We may have some folks out there that just, survival, not even on their radar. They're thriving. But for the most part, the people that I'm working with are simply trying to reconcile the pressure to survive this season. And so, my main message, and one of the things that I'm going to bring in the virtual conference, is simply this: put your own mask on first. The principle behind that statement when you get on a commercial aircraft is, if there's a rapid decompression of the cabin, what happens in that situation is that you lose consciousness in 8 seconds, roughly. I mean, that's an average. You lose consciousness in 8 seconds. If you don't take care of yourself first, you're going to be of very little value to the people that are seated to your left or right or in front or behind you. You've got to take care of you. So we're going to be talking about some very practical practices, very simple practices for soul care in this season and how to take care of you so that you're available to extend your business, so that you're available to help the people and serve the people around you. And so, that's where we're headed for the virtual conference that's coming up. I'm pretty excited about it. And it's not something that I'm just lecturing on. It's something that I've had to live. In fact, 2 weekends ago on Father's Day, my own kids called me out. I was in a place where for a couple of weeks some things had happened in my business that were pretty discouraging, and I was beginning to function under that pressure. I've got to hold this together. I've got to make this work. I've got to get that next client. And it was making me angry. It wasn't making me successful.
Right. Mm.
My kids called me out and said, "Dad, you're getting real angry very easily right now." And my son said, "Dad, I think you've gotten away from some of the basics."
Wow.
To have your 23-year-old son coach his 56-year-old father to get back to the basics of soul care. Number one, I felt pretty encouraged that he was even carrying the message, but that's beside the point.
That's awesome.
The point is that we all need to be reminded to get back to the basics of taking care of ourselves in a good, healthy, positive, very practical way, so that we're actually available to show up. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I restate what I think I heard you say and then allow you to push back or put an exclamation on it?
No, come on.
Because I want to make I hear you saying if you want to be more effective, if you want to actually see some growth in this time period, then actually do less. Slow down, take care of yourself, spend more time with, firming up, yourself and where you're at emotionally, spiritually, in your mindset and in your attitudes, and don't have the pressure that, oh God, because I know in my business, I got criticized by going off on vacation as soon as some things opened up just to go away. And I had people, how dare you go away for a week and a half and in the middle of, but Bill, I did less during that time and made more money. I was more creative. I came back with 2 or 3 ideas that I know implementing them is going to help a ton of people. And in helping a lot of people, of course, I'm going to get rewarded as well. That's just the way it works. But I'm going to be able to help way more people than I had been simply by taking that time to go away and take care of my mind, my will, and my emotions.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to be more creative in a season like this. And pressure and creativity are almost always mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Real creativity comes from a rested place. One of my favorite authors, Bill Johnson, said this years ago. He said, the only storms that you have authority over are the ones you can sleep through. And he was referencing Jesus sleeping in the bow of the boat when there was a storm. The only storms that you have real authority over, and we're in one now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only storms that you have any real authority over are the ones that you can sleep through, meaning if we can't step into this season with extravagant peace, we're already behind the 8 ball. We've lost ground before we're even on the playing field somehow. And so the kinds of things that I want to encourage are the things that make for real peace. And I know people are under pressure. I know there's a lot of financial pressure right now. There's so much uncertainty in the economy, but you're not going to serve your prospective clientele or yourself well if you're stepping into encounters in an agitated or place or under pressure. And so there's some pretty simple practices that we can engage in on a daily basis that don't cost anything except a little bit of time. Right. And when we give ourselves to those things consistently, you'd be surprised at the creativity that you can invoke. You'll be astounded at sort of the peace that you have in the face of insurmountable pressure. I mean, we've never seen anything like this before, not in our generation.
Right.
And so I think the simple practices that get us back to living from the heart, moving easily from our heart, and for those of us that are people of faith, moving out of that place of grace, if you will. If we can find that place of grace in the middle of all this, and I know that I can almost feel the pushback from some of the listeners right now. You don't understand. I'm behind. I do.
Yeah.
If you're not behind now, you've been behind at some point, or you're going to be behind in the future. It's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
It's there, and it's there for a lot of us in an unusual way, but you'll never work through that under pressure.
Right.
You can only clearly see your way through when you are at peace. And so I'm excited to offer some pretty practical, again, very simple disciplines or practices that will help folks stay in that place in the middle of all of the insanity. It's just crazy. And so I'm fighting back, and I want to help you guys fight back against it.
Absolutely.
As well. It's overwhelming.
I get it.
And I've talked to so many executives and executive teams. They don't know how to juggle positive employees, symptomatic employees, and what are we going to do? And all right, first of all, you got to take care of you. So what are you doing in that? And so, and in terms of executive coaching, I'm talking about soul care more than anything else right now.
Absolutely. And I just want to draw a stake in what you're saying here, because I can feel my audience out there, these entrepreneurs, these independent salespeople. Oh, yeah, that's great. But how am I going to make a sale? And let me explain something to you guys. You have absolutely no influence on anybody if you're coming from a place of stress, if you're coming from a place of worry, if you're coming from a place of anxiety. Let me tell you, people feel your words more than they hear your words. In the context of the content you're giving, if it's coming from a place of strain, you're trying to close someone that shouldn't be closed, you're trying to push something that shouldn't be pushed right now, you're not able to see the opportunity on the horizon because you're under this stress. I'm telling you, what Bill is talking about is more important for you right now than me teaching you how to use an autoresponder.
Right.
It just both are critical.
Both are critical.
Both are absolutely critical for your success. But in a season, and here's one of the things that I know that happens. I've done a lot of reading and a lot of study. And I mean, Terry grew up the same place I did. We have to do extra reading and extra study just to get by, because that's the way relevant kind of people are.
Just to get to par.
Yeah, just to get up to par. Which is 2 on the putt-putt golf course in Forest City, by the way. I'm just reminding all you people. One of the things that I know is that when you are under stress, when you're in anxiety, your peripheral vision, your physical peripheral vision actually begins to close in. And so what that speaks of is what Terry just said. When you're under stress, your world gets very small. Your field of vision is compressed, and you just can't see the opportunities. And if you can't see them, you can't communicate them, and you can't help other people into them.
That's right. That's right. So this is going to be a session in our virtual conference that we're having to come up in a couple of weeks. We'll be sending out more information on that as we drill down on it. We don't have exact dates, but it's going to be this month. It's going to be in a Zoom call so that you can communicate back to the presenter. And one of the presenters here you're hearing tonight, Mr. Bill Perry, he's going to be on there talking about that. The next presenter is going to be Chris. Chris Roop is been in ministry for a long time, just like Bill and we're all ministers in that context. But you have had to pivot in this time. you've had to make some changes as business as usual,
right?
Because of the change.
Yeah, it is kind of the plan now, right? Is if you're going to make this thing happen, then you're going to have to rethink how you do what you're going to do, and I think not just, I mean, I think for all of us, whatever the product you have is, you got to find a different way to get it in front of people. And how do you do that? And podcasting is one of the ways to do it. And so I had to enter into this, trying to think about how to do it very quickly and in a very short amount of time, get it all up and running. And me and you worked on some of that, and we were able to do it. I mean, we had to order everything, but we were up and running in one day. And we were aggressive in our thinking. Now, if I was just going to do the podcast, so this is encouraging to everybody listening, I hope. If I just wanted to do an audio podcast, I could have, with nothing, no frills, just to do a vocal version, I could have had one up and running. Once I had the equipment, including setting it out and everything, I could have started in 15 minutes. If I had the equipment there, there was no real education or difficulty in using the equipment to get it in and to actually record it. And that would have been very easy to do. Now, of course, we were going to take it to another level. We wanted, an opener, and we even decided to do video the very first time we did it, which was probably a little ambitious and maybe a tad bit stupid. And we had graphic fly-ins, we had overlays. I mean, we did everything. And so we were still able to get all that done in a single day and go live. And it turned out really, really well. So we want to pass on some of that information and help folks, depending on where they're at, just with some of the basics of, hey, if you want to get this up and running, if you wanted to start your own podcast, to even do this, what we're doing tonight, to enhance your business, how do you do that? How do you go about doing it? And the reality is just like you have a book, maybe there's a topic that you want to talk about, or you have an expertise, there's a topic you want to talk about. How can you do that realistically and put it all together? That's what we're going to do. And for me, and some of the people are asking, I'm just I want to have fun doing it. Right.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I think, how do you do that? Now it's up to you. If you want to be boring, you can do that,
Well, we get accused all the time when we open it up. We're bantering back and forth. Well, is this a business show or a comedy show or what? And guys, we've got webinars after webinars after webinars out there. Yes. That give you the X's and O's. Here is just to introduce you to the brand, who we are. We're real people, and to let you know that you may not like us. And if we can save you time on the front end saying, hey, these guys are idiots, and you don't buy, we've saved you trouble. We've saved ourselves trouble.
If you want content,
because it don't get any better than it.
Go to TerryWilson3.com and just look for a lot of videos that Terry's doing by himself.
Yeah.
And you can bore yourself for a week and a half.
I've got a month's worth of webinars out there on how to make money.
It's just knee deep in details. You can detail yourself to death.
I think the word would be, I have a plethora of trifling minutia that you could choke on.
Yes.
When it comes,
it's good stuff.
But it's good stuff. I'm kidding.
But you can be specific. Like, okay, I really want to know how to build my website. Well, then go watch a video.
Right.
Today we're talking on a bigger scale, and just something we enjoy doing, and so we're gonna have a good time. Everybody enjoys this but Reagan.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason we do it. It's because Reagan doesn't enjoy it.
That's right. Had to drag me here. Got me here.
Well, he barely got drugged here. Like 3 seconds before the start.
If Reagan enjoyed this, we're doing it wrong.
Came hot.
All right, guys. Well, when we get back, we're going to take your questions. I know we've had several people send in questions, and Reagan's curating them right now. Hey, that's a big word, Bill. Curating. But he's getting those, and we're going to let the panel answer some of them. Matter of fact, we might give the first question to Bill, just so he doesn't get bored out there. But anyway, we'll be back right after this.
Don't worry, there's more TW3 coming your way right after this.
Hey Terry, this is Chris. Just wanted to congratulate you on 12 years of crushing it online, my friend. I have the courage to ask and earn what I am worth because I believed it when I heard you say, you are worth more. Felicitaciones por 12 años de hacer negocios a la manera honesta y ayudando a tantas personas. Brindo por muchos más años de éxito y prosperidad. Keep up the good work.
Terry Wilson, Cliff Ravenscraft here from MindsetAnswerMan.com, and I just want to congratulate you on 12 years of crushing it with your passion of serving the world at the highest level, using the gifts that God has uniquely given you, brother. Congratulations. I know it's just the scratching the surface of all that God's going to continue to do through you as you powerfully serve the world at the highest level. Congratulations. 12 years. Freaking phenomenal, brother.
I'm still going to play this game. I'm still going to be involved. I'm still going to be engaged so I get my breakthrough.
Guarantee you success, but he sure can help you eliminate the excuses made so far for not achieving them. Now back to the TW3 Studio with Terry Wilson.
And by the way, Keith, thank you so much. That's Keith over at ESPN Radio that did the new jingle for us. So we sound like we're about to queue up some sort of football highlights or something with that.
Yeah, I like it.
So anyway, Reagan, I think you've got some questions.
Yeah, we have some questions, but I'm still laughing at Mark's joke in the chat. So they might say Reagan has a drug problem because they had to drag him to the show. Hashtag that joke. That was pretty good. All right. So first question here. Terry, please don't mention my name, but I'm starting to feel overwhelmed in my business. I find it almost impossible to forecast and make decisions for my retail business during all of this. Any words or help you could offer from both how to deal with the stress and what to do to keep my business open? That's a good question.
That's a very good question. Bill, you want to take a stab at that first?
Yeah, for the first shot,
I think we're losing Bill here. Signal's going out. Let me make sure we got him here. Hold on a second. I'm still connected with you, Bill. Can you hear me? We lost Bill.
He's gone. The signal runs out in Rutherford County.
Yeah, he's in Rutherford County, and apparently he's not standing on one foot.
See, you could just hear that.
So yeah, I would harken back to what he's calling back in. Hold on a second. He's not done. He says, "I will get on here one way or the other." Bill, are you there? Hold on one second, Bill. Hold on one second. Let's see here. We're gonna get him. Boy, I tell you what, we're high tech rednecks tonight.
Now let me tell you though, on our 24th anniversary, we're going to have this nailed down.
Well, by the 24th anniversary, we're not even going to have equipment. It's just going to be going straight into your brain. Little chips in your head, and we're just going to think and talk to each other.
Yeah, we're having all kinds of fun issues tonight. I don't understand what the deal is here. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. Now, Bill, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, sorry about that. It's probably on our end. So, but you were breaking up, and then all of a sudden I lost you here.
Listen to you taking credit for that.
I'll take credit for it.
No, but I heard the question, and number one, I'm real sorry for that sense of feeling overwhelmed. I get it. That's such a hard place to function. But again, it's so difficult to make decisions about how to advance, how to promote, how to work your business when you're under that sense of being overwhelmed. And so I would recommend two things. Number one, if you have some personal devotional time, some personal meditative time, something where you're simply quiet and you can allow yourself to be quiet, don't neglect that. But I think even more important than that is this is a good time to lean into a coach. The individual that brought you into TW3 or whoever in the organization that you rely on as a coach, this is a really good time. We need each other in a time like this. I think one of the things that is really contributing to the sense of being overwhelmed is that constant state of isolation that we find ourselves in. And so lean into a coach, lean into the TW3 community in a time like this. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that probably more than anything else, when you're feeling that place of overwhelmed, can't do this. Terry, can I make one more counterintuitive statement?
Absolutely.
Or do I only get one tonight?
No, I'll give you three.
All right, we're going to take swipe number 2 at counterintuitive. Let me tell you this: you need to maintain your hope, but it's okay to lower your expectations in certain seasons.
Absolutely. I think that's just managing your expectations. I mean,
it is.
Aggravation.
Yeah,
Well, I was just going to say aggravation, frustration. Where does it come from? Unmet expectations. So change the expectations, right?
In this season, we have to give ourselves permission to lower the expectations. It's critical because we've said this once already, and I don't want to belabor the point, but we're not playing on the same field we were on in February. Everything is exponentially harder. The resistance is greater. And so to expect of ourselves the same performance that we were bringing in February is probably for most of us unrealistic.
Right. Well, and if that's a member asking that, and it actually is a member, so I can speak with authority. I'm not going to mention names, but a little inside baseball here for that person. There is a training in the back office that speaks directly to this on a practical way, how you can go after what we call, in my own vocabulary, low-hanging fruit. And that's easier money to be made in a tight economy, in a bad market. You know, you got, and from a practical business standpoint to that person, where Bill's talking, let me just apply this to TW3. You might be used to selling these APS packages, a year ago, and that's a $25,000 package, coaching package. Well, in today's world, yes, can that be sold? Absolutely. We've sold one last, but we're not turning them like we were. So what you do is you pivot and go toward some of these other things where you're getting paid to give things away. Okay. Because, everybody can afford free, right? And so there's some practical ways that you can pivot in your business to help yourself. And that goes to what Bill's saying. You got to lower your expectations right now, because if all you're doing is going out for the elephants, and right now we're in a season where elephants aren't being fed very well, then you got to start squirrel shooting. You got to go after, a different market.
Home runs are awesome. But a person who consistently hits singles and doubles will win the game every time.
Small ball wins all the time, don't it?
That's it.
Small ball wins, and baseball's back. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Sorry, a little sidetrack, but I'm telling you that if someone was to put me under sodium pentothal, I swear I would say the hardest thing about this whole COVID-19 is no baseball. It's un-American, I'm telling you. All right, next question, Mr. Trickle Down, supply side.
Let's see here, Terry. You work with a lot of people in different industries. If I was considering starting a business in this environment, which area would you advise?
Well, I would advise a couple things. Number one, the opportunity space right now, the right opportunity. I'm not talking about these shenanigans, get rich quick scheme type things like that. I'm talking about where you can match people up to hourly and salary jobs, because the job market has changed so much, and get paid to help them do that. That is doing really well right now because of unemployment. The coaching space is doing well in the online environment. In the other coaching, I've got coaching friends that go out and do one-on-ones in the meeting spaces and stuff like that. They're having a harder time than the ones that are doing like some of these virtual stuff and all that. But And that's actually what I'm going to be talking about. If the person that asked that question, if you're on tonight, you'll want to come to that virtual conference, because I didn't even bring up what my talk is going to be about. And that's basically the title of the talk is Seeing the Opportunity During the Opposition. Because there are some real opportunities out there, even in this environment. Maybe not to hit a home run, but to put some runs on the scoreboard by hitting single after single after single. And if you get wise about it, you can do that. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the virtual conference that I'm going to be speaking at, my part. So,
cool. All right, let's get to some of these chat questions we had. Let's see here. First one, if you've already covered this, because I know I did leave the room for a second there, but what is this?
What is this?
What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Why are we here? Who are we? I don't know. No, I did cover it, but just real quick, because that was one of the things we said up front. We always assume that people know who we are and know all about this, and we just take off talking. This is a business platform called TW3. It's a suite of marketing tools to generate leads, to automate your sales process, to do all kinds of things. We're sort of like a Salesforce with an attitude. We get a little more practical than Salesforce. It's got a CRM that is bad to the bone. We are working out some glitches because it is new and it is software, and so there's some browser conflicts with a couple devices that we know about and we're working on. But because of the nature of what it is, what we've done that Salesforce and other people don't do is we work with people that don't even have a business. Say, for instance, if you're an insurance guy, real estate guy, coaching guy, then you know the importance of leads and being able to make content and stuff. But what if you're just that average Joe out there that says, Terry, I don't have a product, good, or service? Well, we can give you a product, good, or service in any industry you want. Some of them you're giving stuff away and getting paid. Quick example. You use our bulk texter. You text a list of people and you ask them to fill out a survey, asking them about what they think about the latest, hottest policy. And let me tell you, if you can't get people animated to fill out a survey in this environment, you're asleep at the wheel. Because, I mean, all you have to do is, text the sections of Atlanta and say, what do you feel about fill in the blank? Click here. And trust me, you're going to get an audience. But see, those companies that do those surveys that turn around and sell them to political companies and consultants and everything else, they will pay you anywhere from $1. I've seen them pay up to $12 per applicant that fills out a survey. Now, that's something that they didn't pay. You're not charging, but we have the tools. We show you how to use these tools. We have the companies that do that. So that's part of what we do. So it's one person said one time, we're a business in a box from beginning to end, from how to do the business to the tools to use the business and what business to be in. The biggest criticism, I'll tell you, our biggest problem, we give you way too many options, and that can lead to being overwhelmed.
Yes. Yep.
That's our Achilles heel, because we'll get people and they'll go into that back office and then their head just spins because a typical entrepreneur is the shiny object syndrome. Oh, I could do this and I can do this, and then they go around in circles and they don't do anything. So that's a little bit of self-discipline, and we preach it and preach it and preach it, but that has to be done. So that's what we are.
That's what it is.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, last question from the chat so far. This is from Richard. I'm in real estate, and activity has been crazy the last 2 months. How has the virus affected TW3 marketing activity?
Well, at TW3, we're on a 28% growth pattern. So I think the position that we're in our particular, we're in a fortunate position, and I think there's a little bit of it goes back to the genesis of this business. How did this business get started? Out of desperation in a bad economy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so we're doing better this year in a bad economy than we did last year in a good economy, because we're a solution provider. Oh, you need a product? Here. Oh, you need a means to get that product in front of people? Here.
Right.
So it's just we've done well, and some of our top performers, greenbacks, Captain Quackenbush, Misspelling Bee. I don't want to leave anyone out, but we got a lot of people that have done well and can continue to do well. So Tom from Chi-Town, Tom is a rock star. He's got his own podcast and out there in Chicago. And he said something in the pre-roll. I don't know if you guys heard it. He quoted Jim Rohn. He said, don't wish that it was easy. Wish that I was better. Don't wish that things were easy. Wish that I was better. Because then you master it. And as you master it, you become a problem solver. And as you become a problem solver, your value exponentially just increases. I mean, think of Joseph in the drought.
Right.
I think that's what God's calling a lot of us to be, is a Joseph. You know, because we're in a situation right now where people are just feeling, you know, the dryness. And if you've got a solution in your hand, you know, and I don't know who said it one time. It says, don't seek after money and being a person of wealth, but rather seek out being a person of value. Because as you can help other people and you can solve their problem, you're going to be taken care of. You know, one of the things that I'm grateful for and humbled by, I've never had to cold call in many, many, many years. I don't even do activity anymore from on. I get it just off of referrals, off of everything, and then I can pass it on to some of my elite trainers and bless them, sow into them, and you know, it just it works. But it's because you solve problems. And I want to speak to my members for just a second. One of the temptations for our members is they get the system, they get in that back office, and they want to circumvent all the learning, Michael. They want to skip over how to set up a blog, how to set up a funnel, all this technical stuff that I know, excuse my French, and if any of my church family's on them, forgive me, it's a pain in the ass. I get it.
Wow, you just dropped the A-bomb.
I dropped the A-bomb. I'm so radical. I'm going to be called into an elders meeting this week. I can guarantee it. But anyway. He's so edgy. I'm edgy. But the point is this. You can sell this system and not know anything about it. But the more you know about it and can use it, the more you're going to be able to bring more business in, and the more you're going to be able to help people that get it. Your value goes up. Your coaching value goes up. I mean, I've got clients that can sell the fool out of this thing, but they don't even know how to log into their back office. Well, what happens is their retention rate goes to pot. You know, they can't keep a client. Why? Because they can't help their clients. Don't do that. Learn the system. No, it's not easy. I never said it was easy. I just said it was worth it, because you're worth more. You know, and so if you need to flesh out what God's put in you. You know, what are you saying, Reagan?
I'm just laughing at Chris Miller's comment. He said 12 years and he's going off the rails, folks.
So let's just address that for just a moment, if I could. I feel like it's my place. You've made your answer to your question. We're all good. So just let me coach you a little bit. If you want to be edgy, don't set it up with an apology. That sort of takes away the cool factor. And so it was cool, but you look like a weirdo doing it. I'm so sorry. Forgive me for doing this, but ass. That's free. That's my coaching to you. I did that on the air.
I'm getting hated on in here, Bill.
I did it here. I would have done it privately, but it felt so much better publicly.
You gotta just throw it out there and then apologize after.
Correct.
It's like, oh, it's the heat of the moment.
That's how you do it. I'm sorry.
Well, as the scripture,
it's so important to me. I was just in the moment. I was so heated.
12 years old, and we don't have the freedom to act like 12 years old. What kind of world is this?
Exactly. That's the first word you say when you turn 12.
Yeah. Well,
it's a coming of age.
I guess let me say it in a way that will offend everybody. As the good book says, and Jesus came to town and settled his ass.
Let me ask you a serious question. Do you know what your unique value is? That thing that sets you apart from everyone else in your business. Do you know where to go and how to find it? If you said no, I want to encourage you. Get my new book, You Are Worth More. You can go over to youareworthmorebook.com and it goes into what your unique value is, where and what it is, the imperative for you to win and acquire more out of life, how to increase your income by using these unique values that you have, a way to scale and increase your impact both personally and professionally, how others are succeeding in spite of perceived limitations, how to tap into your creative genius, actionable steps to earn unlimited income, and ways to leverage tools to increase your productivity. That's all the things you're going to learn in a very informative, inspiring, and illustrative way if you go over to youareworthmorebook.com, youareworthmorebook.com. Hear me now or feel me later, as I like to say. You are worth more. In the moment, the very moment you start believing it and receiving it, you'll start acting upon it and you will start having it.
He can't guarantee you success, but he sure can help you eliminate the excuses made so far for not achieving them. Now back to the TW3 Studio with Terry Wilson.
Michael,
What?
you haven't said anything all night.
I've just been listening and taking it in the corner.
Well, now's your time to at least contribute to the conversation.
I don't have anything. I've been listening to the wise words of Bill, Terry, and Chris.
Now, he's the gambler over there. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And my audio engineer tells me that we went to break and forgot to mute the mics.
Yeah, apparently that's what happened there. But that means I can actually comment on this because I said it over the break. Ed had pointed out that we have a junior high school photo of me. It's actually not. That's a photo from last May of my engagement. That's just my natural face.
Where
he actually looks like that.
Yeah,
well, to be fair, that's me clean shaven.
Right.
I got a little
Saves a
stubble
little
right
bit.
now. You know, I don't know if that helps.
I don't think I'd call that stubble, but
Something.
you got a couple of hairs on your face,
Something
a couple of pricklies.
I got some sideburns.
All right, did we announce the winners?
No, let me go ahead and get into
All right, here's the winners, guys.
All right, so let's see here. Our book winner is going to be Mary Pretorius. So congratulations, Mary. If you go to, also, these are for all the winners, but if you go to terrywilson3.contact, just let us know your name and then some information on where would you like your, in your case, your book. We'd love to send that out to you. Let's see here. Our booster winner, just go to terrywilson3.com/contact and give us your info so we can send that to you. And then our free fuel reward certificate winner is a Yamil Battencourt. So congrats to Yamil. Yamil
Bethencourt. Okay, yeah. So Yamil, we'll be sending you out a fuel certificate, and the rest of them we got books, and we got. Did we do the free leads? I can't remember.
That was the booster, yeah.
The booster, lead booster. Okay, great. So got a lot of good stuff, guys. I'm telling you, this has been a great year. Even though, and in spite of all of the nonsense, I recognize. I mean, there's just a lot of reasoning and rationale that a person could use to be frustrated, aggravated, irritated. You know, I mean, number one, except for what I post, get off of social media. Because it's just a bunch of nonsense. It's just a bunch of gang and everybody. And I think we have a little bit of a powder cake in our society right now. And the least little thing sets everybody off because they're stressed to the max. And so, and we're in the political season. Let's be honest. You know, so everything's hyper politicized. We have, and I don't care if you're conservative or liberal, we have a media that heightens everything. It just tries to ramp it up. So we have a formula in our society to drive us crazy. And if you're going to be in business and if you're going to be effective at all, you need to be cognitive of the world you live in, but you don't need to have to be of the world that you live in. You've got to be just sort of above the fray, if you will, a little bit. And, you know, I'm telling you, peace sells. I mean,
it really does.
I mean, peace will sell in a world that we live in right now. If you've got peace, I'm telling you, you could be porch maskers, to put on for COVID or whatever. I mean, in other words, your product could be very inefficient, but just the way that you're presenting it will go a long way. Just if you have a little peace about you, a little hope, a little encouragement. One of the things I'm feeling compelled to do is speak less and just listen more. I think we could all do well just to hear people in perspectives that you may not ordinarily agree with. And the reason is because if you want to have an influence with people, if you want to help people, then you've got to empathize, even if you don't agree with where they landed on the the decision. I find myself more and more just challenging my pre-notions and concepts, and allowing myself in a healthy way, and you know what I'm saying, because I find some of the frustration and aggravation that's going on is people are just nervous about how our society has just, in a matter of a month or so, you had COVID, you had this, and then it's just like a powder keg that was released throughout society, and everybody is just at each other.
Hey, Terry, you forgot the murder hornets.
The murder hornets.
Boy, that was a letdown, though. I'm going to be honest.
They were in there too. Yeah, when you were saying that, I was thinking about the movie Field of Dreams from about 27 or 28 years ago.
Oh yeah.
James Earl Jones had that one line in the movie. He said, "It's money they have, but peace they lack."
Yeah.
And we're in the persuasion business. I don't care what you're doing, what you're marketing. We are in the persuasion business. And the only way you will ever persuade an individual is if they feel like you value them. And the only thing that communicates value is you listening.
That's right.
People only feel valued to the degree that they feel heard. And so if you want to succeed in this season, communicate value by listening, even if people are in a position that disagrees with yours. I couldn't agree more. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will tell you, when people are feeling wounded, hurt, aggravated, they're in their emotions. So just give them that and just let it be. Don't get distracted by the negative energy. Just try to hear the heart behind it. And a lot of times what you'll hear, I don't care if it's coming from the left or right. I don't care if it's coming from black or white. It's coming from fear. The heart of all of it's fear. It's just manifesting anger, frustration, irritation. I mean, it's going to manifest differently. And that's why the good book says over 365 times, fear not. Right. Be not afraid. And the only thing that I have found in my own life that inoculates fear is peace. And you got to get around people. And one of the values that we offer here at TW3 is we have a community that comes together and just pours in the good stuff. Not that we got our heads in the sand, not that we're not, I've got a saying, we're positive, but we're not Pollyannish.
Right.
I recognize there's problems, but would you at least hear me out that there's solutions?
Yeah, I think we're focusing on the problems and not the solutions.
Exactly.
We're trying to be right rather than righteous.
Right.
And that becomes the kind of the big problem with Facebook. It's more about winning an argument.
Well, it's that, and the other thing is it's designed to keep people in an echo chamber.
Right.
Because the algorithms.
Right.
Facebook
feed into you what you're already hearing and the people that you're talking about and referencing.
Yeah. Because the algorithm, they know what you're searching, they know what you're looking at, they know what you're consuming, and so they just continue to feed that confirmational bias, so that when something comes across that is out in left field, our society, even though we're connected via social media, I feel like it's more separate than ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Before.
We're more divided than in my lifetime.
Yeah. I was talking to a very close family friend Sunday, and we were just talking, and it was all polite, but it was amazing how what their news consumption and they're quoting things in news I haven't even heard, you know, and I'm quoting things of them in news they haven't even heard. And it's the old, I won't mention the name because it'll be a lightning rod, but one person that was speaking at a school one time on journalism he said, news is wherever you look. Well, if you've already got a bias, you're only going to report the news that supports the bias. And that's why it's so important. And that's why we were talking before we got on, you know, one of the things that I fear so much is just we don't have that backstop of information anymore.
Right.
You know, that this is the standard. It's just like everybody's got their own thing. And it's
well, it exists. You just have to look harder for it. Are you willing to turn off all of the biased news sources and start turning to some of the independent news sources that are genuinely, for the most part, and the way you know that it's independent is when you read the headlines and you're not sure which they stand for.
Exactly.
Those might be more. Just got to look for them.
You got to look for them. Well, we didn't mean to get into politics, guys, but it does lead into business, though. I'm telling you, and a lot of our mindsets and a lot of our frustrations, aggravations, and our stress levels is because of this thing called politics that's in all of our news and in all of our society and social media that is just driving everything else. And you've got to be aware that you've got people, your audience, the people you're talking to right now, that's the environment they're coming from. So if you can be cognitive of that, it's going to help you write your ad copy. It's going to help you in your delivery. It's going to help you in what should I say to this person. If I'm cognitive of, I'm calling on this people in this region, this demographic, and I know what they've been fed informationally, I might can, you know, surmise a little bit of the attitude, the mood, because so Bill's right. We're in the influence business. How do you influence people if you don't know them? You can't. So that's me getting on my pedestal a little bit. So anyway, guys, thank you for celebrating 12 years of TW3. I hope tonight was of value to you. I hope you're going to be able to take something away and apply it to your business. For you ticket holders, we're going to be sending out information about this virtual conference that's coming up, and want you to be a part of that. If you want to buy tickets for next year's conference now, if you get the tickets, we will go ahead and let you in on the virtual conference. So you can go to worthmoreconference.com, go ahead and get your tickets for next year, and you'll get in on this virtual conference that's going to be happening in the next few weeks that we'll be sending out information. We did tell people, we sent an informational package out to those who own tickets to give you an option to opt out or to keep your tickets. So look for that information on how to do that, and that'll be coming. The deadline's the 15th, so check that out. Until next time, this is Terry Wilson with TerryWilson3.com.